A story is a series of events that usually occur and is usually told in chronological order. Now, a story in this case isn't going to be the same thing as plot, right? A story, you know, the way we're talking about it is just something that we tell each other or something that we read that at best makes you want to know what happens next because it's entertaining, right? And stories are great, stories are wonderful, but they're not necessarily the things that we study in literature, right? Now, pretend these shapes that I'm showing you on this is a timeline, are events, right? There's not a real pattern to it, right? Like you couldn't necessarily infer what the next shape is going to be. So that is essentially a symbolic representation of what a story is, right? There's no clear pattern. Okay, so let's take a look at how this looks in text form. Okay, so we're going to take this guy's life. He's fictional. Okay, I made him up. His name is Gus. He was born on August 3rd, 1954, in a hospital in Chicago. He was 8 pounds. His mother's name was Anne. On the surface, this seems like something that could technically happen, but there's no meaning to it, right? In an effort to get home in time to watch his favorite show, The Lone Ranger, Gus rode his bike too fast in the rain. He crashed into a tree. He received 13 stitches. Again, things that tend to happen in a life, right? The TV show might change. What you're riding might change. How many stitches you receive might change. But again, no clear discernible pattern. Gus joined the army and eventually became a major for his bravery and leadership. After the war, Gus married a girl named Sue. She was pretty. Her favorite color was red. Gus eventually became a small business owner where he ran an Italian restaurant. Gus died in a car accident while abandoning his wife. That escalated quickly, right? All right, so that's like a human life, right, in a nutshell. And a lot of lives are like this. They're only interesting insofar as, some events are interesting, or maybe we know the person, or we know some of the people involved. But stories aren't necessarily things that have a plot, right? So now let's take a look at Gus's life rewritten, okay? Because Gus's life, as it stands right now, has no pattern. Therefore, it has no literary meaning to it, okay? So, a story with a plot is a series of events that have chronology, but they focus on relationships, they focus on values, and most importantly, they focus on meaning. So if you look at the timeline in purple, you'll notice that there's a pattern to it. Square, circle, triangle, square, circle, triangle. So it would be logical for us to infer that the next possible shape would be a square. That's what I mean by patterns, except that now we're going to look at it in terms of text. Okay? So let's take a look at Gus's life rewritten to have pattern, right? Gus's father walked out on his mother the moment she tells him that she is pregnant, right? The father moved to Europe to help the communists. His mother struggled to pay the bills as a waitress at an Italian restaurant. Life was hard for Gus and his mom, right? Inspired by the Cold War and an effort to bring money to the household, Gus joined the army. He sent his paychecks home to his mom so he could work so she could work fewer hours at the restaurant. His mom, who always wanted to go to college, was able to take some night classes because of Gus. During his time in the war, Gus stopped another soldier from raping a woman and killing her 10-year-old son. Gus was noticed to be a man of honor by a superior officer. Gus was promoted. Gus received an honorable discharge from the army after being wounded in battle. He went to college like his mother always wanted and majored in business. His mother suffered a heart attack as he received his degree. He met a nurse named Sue at the hospital. The day his mother died, she consoled him for the loss of his mom. They married 2 years later. Gus saved enough money to buy the restaurant his mom used to work at. He renamed it Anne's Place in honor of his mother. Sue found out she was pregnant and told Gus. In a fit of fear, Gus decided to go out for cigarettes with a hidden intent of abandoning his wife. He drove faster and faster. He lost control of the car as it moved across an oil slick. He crashed against the van, killing a father and son traveling together. Then death. All right, so notice that in this particular story that there are some details that connect with each other. The fact that his dad was a communist and he majors in business, which is the ideological opposite, right? The fact that his dad walked out on him and he was about to walk out on his dad, right? There's this tension between him wanting to save, women and children, right? And him trying to abandon his own wife and child. The fact that his mom wanted an education and he got the education his mom always wanted for herself, right? There's these patterns, there's these threads that go through Gus's life. There's now a plot to this particular story. Therefore, we can now infer meanings and arguments about the values and the relationships and the meanings of Gus's life, okay? And the thing is, we do this all the time, right? Most people, we crave meaning. We don't look at our lives as a series of random events. We make choices, we draw connections, we make judgments about our lives, whether they're good lives or bad lives, right? Things that we do, we feel their weight, right? And the people and the places that are involved in our lives, we put them in our lives, and we give them we give them relational values to how they fit in our stories, right? And the same thing goes with plot, right? They make arguments about these things, okay, about what human experience is supposed to be like and what human experience is all about. Okay. Now, when we're looking at it, we're going to see that, stories fit together, and together they combine to have meaning, right? This is called organic unity, right? Stories with a plot are organically unified by its parts, and each part has some sort of relationship with the other parts of the story that imply some sort of argument or meaning, right? And these arguments, right, come in the form of morals and themes, right? The idea of implying arguments through patterns and connection is what separates literature from simple entertainment. Not that entertainment is bad, it's just we don't really study it as much as we do literature. Okay? So you have to ask yourself, what does the story of Gus imply about people, about life, about relationships? Whatever you manage to get out of it, right, you have to be able to support it with whatever details from the story you were able to, that led you to that particular meaning, that argument. Right? So think of it this way, right? You can have all the bits and pieces of a car, but when they're randomly strewn about, that's like just having random events strewn about. That's like a story without a plot. But eventually when you put it together, right, and you have systems working together to produce some sort of effect in the reader, now you're putting a car together, right? That's giving it unity. Same thing with human body parts, right? You could have a whole bunch of body parts together, but until they're arranged in systems, right, they're not really having any kind of meaning or function, right, or purpose, right? Ooh, okay. So how does this actually work in class, right? Well, analysis breaks a text apart, right? So that's us looking at all the parts of a story and arranging it and breaking it apart outside of chronology and trying to see how they fit together. We look at the individual parts and we're trying to see how they fit, right? Interpretation puts pieces together to make meaning. Right? So we look at different parts of it and maybe these three parts together make a theme, or maybe these three parts together make a moral, right? And we do this to figure out arguments, right? So in writing, the interpretation becomes the main part of your thesis, and the analysis becomes the evidence and the body paragraphs, you explaining how things fit together, right? That's the analysis, that's the body paragraphs. So what does this actually mean, right? To kind of summarize, that's the analysis, these pictures I showed you earlier. But then the interpretation is you telling me, hey, what kind of car is it, right? Is it a truck? Is it a race car? Is it an SUV, right? And when you're looking at, people, it's like, well, what kind of, you can look at individual human beings. Individual human beings are like arguments about, the type of person someone can be based on how the systems fit together, right? And how stories fit together imply very different stories, than one I can tell, you can tell, someone else can tell, right? So if you have any questions about organic unity, analysis, or interpretation, send me a message either through Remind or Loop Mail or whatever other message system we're using. So high five for learning.